Hey guys, and welcome back to K Reads. Thank you guys for tuning in. Also, I just want to say thank you guys so much for the upcoming episodes that you guys have been really getting into. I truly appreciate it. I have another special guest with me today, and this one is very personal because low key, if it wasn't for this person and RB Pen, there would be no me. So this is an amazing writer. I have this is like not even half of the collection I have from this author right now. Um, my favorite one, of course, and she knows this is this one, but we're getting to that. I got Skye Moon with me today. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you for being here. So the first question I ask all of my guests is how and why did you get into writing?
Um, how I got into writing is I think one of my cousins was at my house one day and she was on like a fan fiction message board
Mhm.
that she was telling me about, and it was pretty much all she wrote after that. It was a wrap, all said and done. But I didn't publish my actual first book until 2018, and I don't even know what made me decide to publish it. I think I just saw that somebody I knew in real life, or I mean, yeah, somebody I knew in real life had published a book, and I was like, oh, this is actually a thing. Like, I can actually do this, and so I did it.
Okay, cool.
I got here.
Yes. So we're going to get into your two recent books, Compulsive
Yeah,
and Intoxicated. But
Intoxicated, which is not on its way to you yet. The pre-sale, whatever, like ended January 30th. So I'm just waiting on my paperbacks to get here because I ordered them after that. But
I saw your
yeah,
Instagram post. I know what's going on. I'll wait. No biggie. But before we get
Intoxicated.
into Kashmir's life, we have to go back. So one thing I love about Skye, and definitely RB Prince, shout out to her too, you guys' universe makes me want to definitely like inspire me to create my own universe. So the question is for you, how is it one creating your own universe because you have like multiple cities, and two, actually like not getting confused with said multiple cities in your universe?
It's actually hard not getting confused, but what I started to do was days where I had some free time, I just went back and made outlines for every city, every character, their job occupation, every food place I mentioned, every bar, gym, whatever. If it had a name, I wrote it down. How they were related to somebody else, whatever else they had going in their background. Like, I literally outlined the entire cities. And that is the only way I can keep up with all of them. I just go back when I need to find something and I'm like, oh, okay, such and such was here, such and such is there, or this happened. But yeah, that was that. And what was the other half of the question?
Like what made you want to create your own city?
So
Or your
I
own
always
universe?
say, like, before I did Ember, which was the first book in my own city, I was watching Chicago Fire. And I love Chicago. I love the Chicago. Well, Chicago Med is kind of iffy, but I love Chicago Fire and Chicago PD. And one thing that like kind of bothered me about it was the Black people were very few, far in between.
Yeah.
So I decided to do a book format, but just make it Black, and that's really how it came to be. Like, yeah, I decided I wanted to do something like that, but in Black, and I wanted it to be all my own. So I just created my own city.
I love it. So we're gonna get into because this is my favorite one right here. If you guys have not read this, please do. This is with Will and Misha, Maisha, excuse me, where I love. What made you want to create Will, who was just like, oh, I just want to have sex with you, one night stand it, and then months later we find out that they were not really a one night stand. They're basically in a relationship, but they
Yeah.
didn't realize they were in a relationship.
I don't know. I feel like because Danny and Tucker were just like so sweet and gentle with each other, I wanted Maisha's personality to be completely different.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted Will's like personality to be completely different. So it was just like, okay, y'all two are gonna be the hard-headed ones that don't really realize y'all like each other until y'all realize y'all like each other. And then again, this wasn't even, I didn't even have any plans on like birthing an entire universe. It just kind of sort of kept snowballing. I only wanted to do like 2 or 3 books, but
really,
yeah, I didn't have plans on it getting bigger or growing or anything like that. I only wanted to do like 2 or 3 first responder books and then call it a day. But
gotcha.
obviously that didn't happen
At all. We're gonna go into compulsive. I ate this
My
book
favorite. That's my favorite book.
I ate this book up. Cashmere and and Rim and Timmy, adorable. I love the fact with Timmy's side we got to see a Seer and Brooke. Like at least a little update with them. Not all the way update, but at least a little update with them. I love that. But why did you make them on site? It's like if you see he was on site, because I don't want to spoil it, but towards the end of the book, they're with friends, and they're just so happy to see people in the book. And I love Cashmere's friends because when they saw him take off his chain, it was like, bro, we gotta go. We gotta go. Like, no questions asked, let's just go. What made you want to be like put them like if it's on site, we're gonna fight the ass?
Because I just feel like the way I even introduced his character is he might not have been faithful. He might not have been the best partner, but he was always going to be protective.
Yes.
Of any woman that he was around. So for his girlfriend to go through what she went through, and for him to know that like her ex compounded on top of that and kind of tried to like manipulate that situation for his greater good, he's like, no, I'm gonna whoop your ass every time I see you. There's nothing to talk about. We ain't gotta have no conversation. There's no words exchanged. I'm gonna whip your ass every time I see you.
And then Timmy didn't make it no better because she jumped in too and she didn't need to. Girl, just let Cashmere handle it, please.
I mean, hey, the girl did hit her first though. So, you know, the girl hit her first. So you can't control what happens when somebody hits you.
Went from them to the very unexpected Dylan and Nixon. I was not expecting that. Because you always say in your books, they're not getting a spinoff, and then out of nowhere you make a spinoff. So Dylan and Nixon, I definitely, it was one of those like annoyance to lovers. Like I can't stand you, but at the same time, I also like I can't live without you. Can't live like I can't live with you.
Can't live with you. Can't live without you.
Exactly, and that's what I got. But why did you have to do my boy Nixon like that?
That honestly, that was always going to be the plan. That was them. That was in fruition from the beginning. Like he never stood a chance. Sorry, yeah. If you read it and what happened to my boy,
he talked all that shit.
He did.
Gets to the house. He's in there.
He did. But I felt like it was the only thing that could happen because each of them have a humbling moment. Like Cass had a humbling moment. And this is Nixon's humbling moment. Like y'all are so arrogant and they're so cocky and they're so used to just like women fawning all over them. I feel like each of them have to have a humbling moment for them to come back down to earth and be like, okay, yeah. You know, you have moments too. You fail too.
Cash's moment was the pool hall.
Definitely the pool hall.
He wasn't. I don't think he was expecting that.
I think his moment was well before that, which I didn't show in the book. Was his trigger was Aniko telling him that she was done with him. That was his trigger. And then Artemis just added on top of it. But that was really his moment of being like, what you mean you don't want me? Yeah. I do the cutting off around here. Like, what you talking about?
And guys, if you don't know who Anika is, she is in another book called Soul Ties, which I do have. That's on my shelf. So that's like get a little bit more into Cash in that story, but his main story is here. So just FYI with that. But let's get into it because I don't know if he's going to get a book or not. I'm going to say no other. But Corey.
Corey is my baby. I hold him very near and dear to my heart. I don't think I will ever craft a character that is as layered as Corey because he's annoying and he's arrogant and he will piss you off. But at the same time, he's such an amazing dad. And he loves his people like he loves his people. Like he has a heart of gold when he's not being an asshole. But
because that I understood, I understood the scene with the baby mama. I got that. But to go to the house and show your ass.
Anybody who is surprised by Corey's behavior, I feel like has not, read Midnight up until now, where Corey was first introduced in Midnight, of course, because that was Rachel's book and Rachel is his cousin. So, I mean, to see Corey from point A to point C, if you're surprised, it's just like I don't think he was really like paying attention to his character. He don't give a fuck.
He don't. I wasn't surprised. I was just very shocked that it led to that moment. Because like in Midnight, he says like, "Oh, like she ain't gonna be with nobody else. She got me. Like, why I could be around, but she ain't gonna be around nobody." Blah blah. So when the baby mama actually gets spoiler alert, when the baby mama actually gets into a relationship and actually gets engaged in that set of relationship, he flips out. So I feel like that was his humbling moment.
That's gonna be like the start of Corey's spiral because that's his triggering moment. Like you thought she was always up under your thumb, and you thought she was always gonna want you or whatever else, and now it's like, is she? Is she? I don't know.
So we're out of the Heights. We're gonna go take it back to the Bay.
We are gonna take it to the Bay
with the brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Or are we going to get another book, or at least or an update, or are we going even going to be in the Bay Area coming? Like
I don't think I'm gonna do any updates on Klaus and them. Like they might be staying where they are. But my first release of this year is going back to the Bay. Like it's starting in Bright Bay. So yeah. We're back.
So let's talk about the new book, Just Lucky in Love. If you guys aren't a Patreon member, please do, because I got to see the cover and I got to see the mood board, and I definitely love it. I'm loving the St. Patrick's Day theme of it. So give us a little bit of information about that.
So Nyx is the female main character. She's jaded because she finds out some very disturbing things about her relationship. Jamie is very broody and he is very just like stoic and like by a schedule and stiff. And so he goes through some things in his relationship as well. And then they meet and, things kind of spiral how they spiral. They actually have a huge influence on each other. And I was just rereading through their book today before I sent it to my beta readers. And I'm like, I love the effect that they have on each other and that you can see it on page. You can see it from the time they first meet to the end of the book. Their personalities are completely different. And it's because of each other. So I'm really excited about that. Really excited.
I'm excited to read it.
I'm excited.
And while we're on Patreon, you have a exclusive book on there.
I do.
Captive of My Heart. I love it.
Do you?
I do. I'm loving the mafia aspects of it. It's definitely giving me life. Like it's like I love the fact that you're doing it chapter by chapter because it's making me want more. But at the same time, I feel like I'm watching a TV show.
So can you tell my readers how I wanted it to play out? Like I wanted to read like cinema, if that makes sense.
Yeah. You're doing a great job with that. So can you give some of my readers my viewers who aren't a member of your Patreon a little bit about the book so they'd be like, oh, okay, maybe I need to get on there.
So Captive of My Heart is about a mafia boss who has 3 daughters. His oldest daughter, they found out some disturbing things. Somebody's targeting his oldest daughter, and his solution based on history and tradition, is to marry her off. But she don't want a husband. And her intended husband really doesn't want a wife, but he's not feeling the fact that she doesn't want to be married to him. So yeah, that's where we're going. You know, his pride and his ego are taking over a little bit. So it's kind of making him want to make her fall in love with him. But at the same time, you know, he's the one who's kind of like falling first, and she's not having it.
She's very stubborn.
She is very stubborn. She is very, very, very stubborn. But she's the oldest daughter of a mob boss. So that's not even to be expected. Like, yeah.
I think with her, it's one of those things is it's like, oh, my daddy's a boss. Nobody's going to hurt me. Nobody's going to kill me. So when she really realizes that somebody's out to kill her, she was like, huh? Like, that's possible to do? What?
Uh-huh. And I think, like her mom told her, you know, in the scene with her mom, that your life has provided you with like a sense of safety, but just because you know about it, but you've kind of been shielded from it, doesn't mean it doesn't exist. There are people out here who will hurt you because of who your father is.
That's true.
And like her dad's be trying to tell her, like, I can't be in 500 million places at one time. Like, I might not always be there. Your bodyguard might not always be there.
Very true. So we're going to go, because I do have questions, because you left me with a cliffhanger with one book. But before we get to that book, we're going to go into Woodgate.
Okay.
We talked about this years before when I read Against the Stars.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you told me that Against the Stars was 2 books, but you put it into one.
Yes, it was.
Why'd you do my girl like that? Why you do Quentin like that? Why? If you read I'm going to spoil it because you leave book 1, like one chapter with the main character telling Quentin, because I can't remember the main girl right now, that he had a baby. And I'm like, girl,
well,
what?
technically she didn't tell him. Kason told him.
Oh yeah, the assistant. Yeah.
Nah, Kason was her old boyfriend or whatever.
Yeah, old boyfriend. That's right.
Yeah, he was the one who spilled the beans. But honestly, I thought it was gonna be a decent plot twist, but then as I reread it, I was like, I don't know how. Spoiler alert. If you have not read Against the Stars, then exit, or fast forward. So
please do.
Plot twist. I don't know how nobody put it together that was Quentin's baby.
I didn't until I read it. The context clues were there, but I think I just overpassed them.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I was rereading it to get to Asher's story, I was just like, oh.
And Bailey loved him from the moment she met him. So I was like, they're going to figure this out. But a lot of people didn't figure it out. And I was like, oh my God, I pulled off a great plot twist because nobody was anticipating this being his baby. But that's definitely his daughter.
I was like, damn. But you get to see them be more lovey-dovey in Asher's book, which I freaking deacon loved. Mm-hmm. Did you expect that book to blow up as big as it did?
Mm-mm, I did not. And honestly, I didn't expect Compulsive to blow up as big as it did. Like, I didn't expect people to like that book as much as they did, or Written in the Stars as much as they did. But I love Asher. Asher is one of my favorite. I want to call him a gentle character because his personality is kind of muted in comparison to a character like Corey. But he said what he said. He meant what he said. So he's like a silent assassin. He cool, but don't play with him.
Especially to the degree that he was like, bro, like, that's my son now.
Yeah.
Relax.
You'll be all right.
You'll be all right. You'll be in his life. You'll still be there. But you won't be as present as you were.
Exactly.
I got this. So shit.
Yeah.
I love Asher. I love how he was very intentful. I love how, like, when he's, like I said, when he stood on, like, I don't like to say the word, but when he stood on business, he stood on business.
He did. He was standing on business.
Stand on business big time. But my biggest question, sparks fly. This is in North Carrollton.
Yeah, it is.
You started this book good, and then I know it left me with a cliffhanger, and I'm like, and you never went back. So my question to you is, if you read this book, are we getting another book in North Carolina?
There will be. I can't even remember what that cliffhanger was, to be honest.
Let's go, Miss Reed.
Yeah, because I think I dropped that book in like 2020.
It was they were Sawyer and Evelyn were, I want to say,
You sure that was a cliffhanger? I think you just might be trying to scam me out another book.
For now. It just said, so did we make up? Are we back on the right track? I don't know. Ari said we're figuring out day by day if you still have me. I mean, you might realign, but and it said, Sawyer, just know I'm messing with you. Blah blah blah. I'll be crossing it if you will. Is that right? Well, I don't know about y'all, but I don't really want to be around when Chef Buck gets wind of Sawyer putting wine on his ass. So it's best to say we get out of here. Daisy, Benny, he's so damn thirsty.
Yeah.
But it says right here, the end for now.
So I think that was the end of their story, but that was the introduction to North Carrollton, which I have not written another book for. I do have another book that I started for that city, which I love. Oh my God, I feel like the beginning of the book is so cute. But I just never went back to it. I have such a bad habit of that. I started Just Lucky in Love in 2022, and I'm just now finishing it. So yeah, there will be another book there at some point in time. It is started. I have my cover. I have my. It started. It's just not done.
I just want to say I think it's the perfect time because this is definitely giving me Black country magic vibes.
Absolutely.
And with Beyonce, coming out, and you finding all these Black country artists.
Yeah, but North Carrollton, there will be a book there. I have some things I need to finish first, though. I need to finish the 2 books for me and AP's collab series.
Yes, I need to start reading because I have it on my Kindle. I need to start reading it.
Yes, so I need to finish 2 books for that. I have to finish part 2 to Soul Ties because I did leave that on a cliffhanger.
You did.
I didn't leave it on a cliffhanger. The story was wrapped up. I just gave a little itty bitty hintsy wincy
because her mama
to some other shit. Yeah,
and I'm like, the mom? What's going on?
Yeah, I did that. I did do that. I did. So, and I have to do part 2 to that. So those are my 3 priorities for this year. Especially now that Just Lucky in Love is dropped, and I feel like any books that I have anyone actively waiting for, I want to get those wrapped up and knocked out and cleared out. So those, now that Just Lucky in Love is finished, are my priorities, and finishing Captive of My Heart. Those will all be my priorities.
Okay. So I meant to completely ask, and my mind is freaking blown. Beast and Happily Ever After, you did your thing.
Thank you. I need to go back and reread it just to reread it because a lot of people say that is one of their favorite books and stuff. And of course, I haven't read it in years. So I do need to go back and reread it. But yeah, that is my baby. Beast is the first book that I ever published.
Beast, if you guys don't know, is an urban retelling of Beauty and the Beast. And Happily Ever After is also like a continuation of Beast, but it also has a spin on Cinderella. And it
no, that's the Little Mermaid.
Little Mermaid. I was way off, but I legit thought it was Cinderella.
Yeah, so it's just like little stuff like, well, I don't know how you mixed up Cinderella because her best friend's name is Finn. Her name is Alex. She has 11 sisters. 11 sisters? I think it's 12.
I think for me and Cinderella, I think it was the part where they met and then like she left the cell phone.
Yeah.
I think that's where I got it from. He was like chasing around the city. I think that's where I got the Cinderella part from. I'm not gonna read it because I did not get a Little Mermaid, so that's interesting. I didn't get that.
Yeah, that's the Little Mermaid. If that ever gets done. Switching books to be like fairy tales is actually harder than I think anyone would anticipate because even though you already have a storyline, you have to make it
Mm-hmm.
your own. Like you have to give it your own little twist and give your own tweaks and things of that nature. So you have a little ultimately, you have a storyline, but
Yeah,
you have to figure out how to make it yours. So that's
that's
the hardest
true.
part about something like that.
That's true. So my next question is for someone who wants to start writing,
Mm-hmm.
who will be like, I want to be where Skye Moon is right now, or want to go up to where Skye Moon is. What is the best advice you would give someone?
I would say do a lot of research first. And I would say do a lot of research because I feel like for me specifically, I just wanted to write a book. Like I didn't think of writing a book as running a business,
Mm-hmm.
and it really is a business. So there are things on the back end that I never thought about, such as like formatting software, like having a website, an email list, all of that stuff. Like do as much research as possible on what works for you so that you don't have so many stumbling blocks along the way. My shit was hard. Like my journey was extremely, extremely, extremely hard. But that's just because I learned a lot of stuff as I was going. So that was my thing. Just block everything out, right? And do as much research as possible.
Okay.
And don't get so caught up in how you feel like people are gonna receive your work. Just write it because you love to write it and because you want to write it.
I love that answer. Definitely love that answer. And before we get out of here, something new that I've been asking all of my guests. What does Black romance mean to you?
Black romance to me are literally the things that we see in romance movies and whatever else in Black that's not surrounded by and encapsulated in drama or racism or whatever else, or just tragedy or all of these like horrible things. It's literally boy meets girl, they fall in love. We might have a little bumps along the road, along the way, but we gonna figure it out. That's really it for me. I don't want, and that's what I want to read. When I think Black romance and I want to read Black romance, I don't want any triggering content as far as like graphic scenes or anything like that. I don't want struggle love where somebody got to get cheated on 487 times and all this extra stuff. Like, I want two people meet and it blooms. That's it.
I like that. And I think too, another reason why Black romance, just Black romance in general, especially when it comes to indie,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like for me, it's more so like they think it's always drama, 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 drama.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the case.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, you do have some writers who do drama, 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 but also you got some writers who just do fluffy romance.
Mm-hmm.
But because it's always like, well, not now, but back then before TikTok blew up and we have like, all the content now, it was
Right.
always like, oh, that got drama in it, I don't want it. Or that got drugs in it, I don't want it. This and this. And I was like, bro, there's so many books
Mm-hmm.
that don't have that crap.
Exactly. That's why I would say, like, anybody who says they want to write, don't worry about how somebody is going to receive it, because then you'll always be stressing yourself out trying to fit into a box you think someone wants to read.
Mm.
So read it. Right, I'm sorry, read it. Write it, promo it, and the audience who's supposed to find you will find you as long as you're searching for them. You put that work in to find them, they're going to find you. And you're going to weed out who's not supposed to be there anyway.
That's true. I definitely agree with you on that. Well, Skye, that's all the questions I had.
Okay.
I thank you for coming on.
Thank you for interviewing me.
Of course. And just a little backstory. I was on Skye and Arby Prin's publishing company, Reign of Literature, back in 2021 when I started. And it's been 3 years now, which I cannot believe that I've been writing that long.
Mm-hmm. It flies. Time flies.
Very much so. But I will put all her information, her website, her social media, all that stuff on there. For the people who want to get into your collection, what book do you recommend that they start off with? Give me
I'm
two top
always tell people to start with Beast.
Beast. Okay.
I will always tell them start with Beast. And if you don't want to start with Beast, then start with Ember. But one of the two.
Yeah, it's Ember. Definitely. That don't want to spoil it, but I'm gonna spoil it. The beginning of Ember, towards the end of that chapter, really made it seem like you're watching a movie.
And that's what I wanted as I was writing it.
I'm not gonna say exactly what scene, but if you're like a big firefighter type of chick, or you like cops, stuff like that, because even 1020 is really good too. Asir, he was my grumpy gentle bear.
That's my dog. That's a. I wouldn't say Brooke is sunshine. It was more like grumpy, half grumpy. Like
Yes.
Yes.
But at the same time, Brooke was she was a little hard headed.
She was, but she was young too. She's only what, 22?
She was like 22 in that book, yeah.
I think so. Yeah. So she's young. She's still figuring it out, and she was on her own. So
yeah, because it starts off, that book too also starts off with like a little, damn, I don't like him. But then like when you read the book, you're like, oh, okay, I understand. You understand why Asir is Asir.
mm-hmm. Yeah, Asir is very hard. Like, he is very hard, but you see why he's very hard.
Yeah. So definitely read it. I definitely will link Beast and Ember in the comments below as well as on social media. Also, keep watching me, guys. Thank you once again. By the time you watch this, I will already have Kimberly Brown up, Alexandria House up, and Aisha Bree up. Coming up, which I'm super excited, I have Dayton Tales. I have Bella J.
Oh, okay.
Super excited. Chaslyn, Hamilton, and Asia Monique.
Oh, that's a good lineup.
So you guys stay tuned. I'm definitely trying to get more people. I have like 3 more people that I really need to email to see if they would be down to do this, and then season 3 is a wrap. So guys, definitely keep subscribing. I'm trying to get it to 500 subscribers by the end of the year. I'm at 342 right now, so I'm working my way up there. But until next time, I'm Kay Reed. Read what you want to write and write what you want to read, and I'll let me do that back 1 minute. Read what you want to write and write what you want to read. There you go. Boom. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Can't focus on me.